Here, the grinder. Look at the coffee beans. Pinotage, coffee lovers, please join me. We're going to discover a really interesting South African red wine, big red wine for fall. Got the coffee flavor, and it's extraordinary. Like, you're gonna actually you're gonna love it or hate it. So let's find out what you think. I am Natalie MacLean, and I review thousands of wines every year at nataliemaclean.com. I'm having a lot of trouble with Facebook. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm going to see if I'm even here recording. If you're here joining me, could you just let me know you're there and you can hear me, you can see me, because I feel very alone right now. This technology stuff is just, oh my Lord. Okay, so I'm live, I guess. Okay. This is so freaky. Anyway, I embrace technology. I embrace the possibilities it brings. Lynn, my faithful Lynn. Good evening, Lynn. Thank you for being here, my dear. Sharon Patterson says, yes, you're fine. Well, yes, I'm live, Sharon, but I'm not sure yes, I'm fine. Technology really rattles me. It makes me want to have a drink. Fortunately, that's what I do. Tara says, hi Natalie, I can see and hear you. Yes, Tara. So, please, as you're joining us tonight, so that I don't feel I'm all alone, and I don't now that Tara, Sharon, and Lynn are here, can you tell me where you're logging in from? Is that an old-fashioned term, logging in from? Sounds like a dial-up thing. What's in your glass? It doesn't have to be on theme. I'm talking about Pinotage, that unique South African red wine. It is planted in other areas, but it's very iconic for South Africa, and we're going to talk about why. I'd love to know if you've tried a Pinotage wine, any that you like, any that you didn't like, and why. We're going to talk about the history of Pinotage. I just thought it would be great to just bring it out because it's a wine that a lot of people don't know. It's not obscure, but not as well known, of course, as Cabernet, Merlot, etc. Roland has joined us from Orleans. You are probably less than 10-15 minutes away from where I am, Roland. Malcolm, good old Malcolm, is joining us from Niagara, and he is logging in with Niagara Lavenier. Okay, Malcolm, you're so on trend. Hashtag got it. Hashtag I need a better phrase. So I went, Malcolm is a wine expert with the LCBO, and he knows his stuff. He's great, and he's in the heart of wine country in Niagara. So Malcolm, I went to the LCBO this weekend, yesterday, and tried to buy all the Pinotage I could. I could find 4. Malcolm says, all right. Malcolm's with us. So, yeah, and that Lavenier is from Stellenbosch, which is the heart of Pinotage and, in my opinion, South African winemaking, though I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong in that. Christine LeBlanc joins us from Centertown, Ottawa. My goodness, we could have a little party right here in Ottawa right now. So, Christine says, I do like Pinotage, but right now I have Riesling in my glass. Holding on to summer in Centertown. That's great, Christine. I love it. It's pretty much the opposite of Pinotage, Riesling. Good on you. You can drink white after Labor Day and all that other stuff. So, let me get into the meat of this discussion. I'm going to throw out all sorts of factoids until you react and stop me from just a rambling stream of stuff. So, 5 surprising facts about Pinotage. It was created as a cross, not a hybrid. So let's get that straight. What is a cross versus a hybrid? A hybrid is like Baco Noir, Maréchal Foch, wines, or grapes, I should say, that didn't start off being of the Vitis vinifera variety. So Vitis vinifera, high class, snootin' tootin'. That's a technical tasting term, Lynn, who keeps track of all my technical tasting terms, like Icify from last week. So it is a cross between 2 Vitis vinifera high-class grapes. It is a cross between Pinot Noir, so Pinotage, and Cinsault, which is kind of spelt like sin salt, or it's also known as Hermitage from the Rhone Valley. So you've got Pinot Noir, this silky, graceful, glassy, ephemeral grape, and Cinsault, which brings the heft to the table, kind of like a relationship, I guess. And it creates this Pinotage grape, which I think is really interesting. And I'm going to flip back to my tab here. Lynn says, LOL. And Tara Deshane, she says she is joining from Windsor, and she's studying law. She's interested in wine law. You need a drink, Tara, obviously, or you need to learn how to drink more if you're going into the law industry. I wrote my LSATs. I keep saying this to my partner. It drives him crazy because I did an MBA, but I was registered for the combined program, and I decided, because I'm impatient, not to complete the 4-year. So anyway, but I love the law. I mean, I love watching legal shows. I don't love the law. I love Suits and The Good Wife. So Tara says she's having the 215 Fairview Pinotage. I really enjoyed, she says, the grinder when I've had it in the past. So it's like if you like coffee in the morning, you'll love Pinotage at night. It's not all coffee, but anyway, let me go back to my facts. Stick to the facts, Nat. So yes, we've got a cross, and Pinotage became a key component in the Cape blend. So that's a blend created to showcase what Pinotage could do in South Africa when blended with other dark-hued grapes that had a lot of pigmentation. And it's named for South Africa's Cape of Good Hope. That's the rocky headland that juts out into the Atlantic Ocean. And I was fortunate to visit South Africa and Stellenbosch in particular for my second book, Unquenchable. And one of the wineries, I did go to Fairview, which Tara's drinking, but I also visited Man Vintners, which is named after the 3 wives. Those are very smart men. They're all their first names, Man. So it's not mannish at all, except that they're smart men. Anyway, I can't remember the women's names. So Pinotage, here's the thing now. So it was originally blended with other wines. So it was a cross, and then it got blended into a sparkling wine, a fortified wine. But more and more vintners in South Africa and around the world, but mostly in South Africa, are making it as a standalone wine. So a standalone, like just that grape, which I often associate with a maturity, a coming of age for a grape when we make it as a standalone. It's not always, not hard and fast, nothing is. But I do think that does happen when vintners find their footing, so to speak. Sharon Patterson has joined us with a Quails Gate Dry Riesling. So you guys are all going like really opposite Pinotage, but that's just fine. Sharon, where are you joining us from, my dear? Quails Gate is BC. Are you out there? All right, I'm still talking about Pinotage. For those who've just joined us, we're talking about Pinotage, South Africa's iconic red wine for fall. Big, honkin', robust coffee. You like coffee? We got coffee. So if you are just joining us, say hey, say where you're logging in from, tell me what's in your glass, even if it's non-alcoholic, that's just fine. So back to Pinotage. And remember, if you join in midway, you can always watch the video replay. Not as fun because you can't comment live and I can't react to you and be shocked or happy or whatever, but you can still catch the beginning explanations. This will be a recording on Facebook forever, which is a little daunting, but anyway. So Pinotage, so here's the bad rap, here's the dark side of Pinotage, and why some people have associated with sort of a rubbery smell. So it was prone to having a volatile acidity. What's volatile acidity mean? It means it's airborne and it can affect the wine, and it just creates a nasty aroma cloud of rubber, or like acetone, like, you know, the stuff you take the fingernail polish off with. I don't want to be drinking that stuff, okay? Want a manicure? I don't want it in my glass. But these days, and you know what? I used to find that. It was like, oh my God, I'd sit down to a tasting and it was like, They're the pinotages. I'm gonna have to bear through the rubber taste because I taste everything, right? I'm just like that, very selfless and throw my palate on the flames of humanity. I don't know. Anyway, but happily, in the last 2 years, 3 years, probably longer for those who have access to a lot more pinotages than we do here in North America, it's been a quality revolution, and it's amazing. I have not smelt rubber in a long, long time. So I either get the coffee style, the true espresso coffee, cappuccino, or I get something that's just a dark, delicious, berry flavor inflected red wine. So I'm liking this. Paul. Hey, Paul, you joined us. Hey, from Patty and Paul in Virginia. And they are enjoying a 2007 Ventoux from Paso Robles Cabernet Sauvignon with dinner. I feel like I'm at the table with you. Do you? Pass the salt. No, actually, your cooking is just fine. There's no salt needed. Paul. Lynn is drinking the Lynn. She's drinking the 2016 September 2016 water this evening. That is a fine selection, Lynn. Lynn, come on. Okay. Sharon, Hamilton is the center of wine. Sharon, I could debate that. Corey has joined us. Corey from across the river in Gatineau. Corey says she loves South African wines right now. Some big sunny wines for good value. She's not a Pinotage fan. Maybe we'll change that view tonight, Corey. At all. Okay, that's definitive. So chemically for me. Chemical tasting. You are so good to give them a chance. That's me. I won't even say it. I want to say it. Mother Teresa of wine. No. So I believe all wines deserve a chance. And as I was saying, to pick up back on where I was, 2-3 years ago, here, where I'm tasting, in North America, Canada, Ontario, Ottawa, we didn't get a lot of Pinotages, so you have to excuse us if we're Pinotage ignorant here. Or I am. I just speak for myself. But there was a lot of rubber going on, a lot of burning rubber, and just, oh God, acetone, paint remover stuff. But as I said, happily, we have emerged from that long darkness into an era of Pinotage that is delightful. And, here's one on the general list at the LCBO, but it's everywhere. So just because I'm talking about LCBO doesn't mean you can't get it. I know you can. Cafe culture. Look what they put. Cafe mocha. Can you see that? So this is like $12 on the general list. And it's pure espresso. And you'd think that's just weirdness in a wine, but no, it's not. Truly, if you love coffee flavors, and a lot of people do, not just because they love coffee, but what do you think oak is doing to wine? Among that palette or that spectrum of flavors that is being imparted by oak, often it's coffee or espresso or spice or smoke. This wine has it all. And I find as long as a Pinotage, for my personal taste, isn't too sweet, isn't too mocha, and none of these are tonight, I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. Now, Biliana, I'm massacring your name. Biliana Velkova is drinking Oyster Bay Pinot Noir, which is part of the cross for this. So this is Pinot Noir and Cinsault. We're talking Pinotage from South Africa. And if you are just joining us, please tell me where you are logging in from and what's in your glass. Sabina, hello from Edmonton. Hi, all from Edmonton. Sabina brings Edmonton to the table. What's in your glass, Sabina? And Biliana, could you give me a pronunciation guide, please? I really don't like mispronouncing people's names. Where are you logging in from? All right, so let's go back to the facts. So we got over the rubber stuff. Yep. And so why? Why did it get past that phase of rubber and acetone and so on? So in every region, grape growers learn how to deal with their native grapes. So I think like in Niagara, Baco Noir has leaps and bounds, advanced leaps and bounds, Henry of Pelham. But we know the soil type, we know the temperature, we know the harvest time, we know the vinification methods, we know how to treat that grape. And that's what's happened also with Pinotage. So what's happening these days is that Pinotage is being grown in the warmer climates, warmer pockets of South Africa, and in shale soils. And I say that like I know what shale would do to Pinotage to fix it, and I don't. So I'd like to know if anyone does. Could you post here? How does shale fix Pinotage? But it's a great soil type, because with soil types you're always looking for drainage. I'm not so sure and convinced of, like, I smell or whatever. Shale got into that organic plant material. No, it didn't. Shale has good drainage. Drainage, meaning the water draws off of the vine roots very quickly, makes vines great, and their roots suffer. And like people, when we suffer, we become stronger. And anyway, that just makes me want to go off on a tangent. This weekend was a very special weekend for me. Facebook thinks I'm turning 35, and we're just going to leave it at that, okay? No numbers, anyone who might know. But suffering does make you stronger. And this is like, I'm not going off on a tangent here, but vines, people become more complex, stronger, better, more layered when we're forced to really draw from very few resources. And that is what shale does for Pinotage. Let me go back to the... Okay, Malcolm says, shout out to Sue Ann Steph. Oh, she has a black O apostrophe noir. So I guess that's is that a Baco Noir, Malcolm, or a Pinotage? I'm assuming that's a Pinot Noir, or sorry, Baco Noir, Blacko Noir. And of course, Henry of Pelham. Billiana says I'm correct in her pronunciation. She's just being nice to me. She's logging in from Vancouver. And Malcolm says, it is. I can't remember what the question was. Oh yeah, is Blacko Noir Baco Noir? It is. So let's taste, because I'm getting thirsty. So what shall we start with? I'm going to start with the man. Oh, Tara's back, and she says, if it's more of a robust red, why is it described as an answer to Beaujolais in the World Atlas of Wine? Sounds like that might be if it's unoaked. Is that the case? Very good question. Disclaimer, I did not write or contribute to the World Atlas of Wine, so I don't have to take responsibility for that comment. But here's the thing. So we're talking Pinotage, we're talking about Pinot Noir. Beaujolais is Gamay, which is Southern Burgundy. Northern Burgundy is Pinot Noir. So the New World's answer to Beaujolais. I disagree, but I see where they're coming from. So you've got that sort of Pinotage, borderline Gamay heritage. We're talking fine wine, we're talking elegance, but a bit more heft. With the New World, that Cinsault muscles in, literally, from the Southern Rhone with its strength. So, people chime in. Please correct me. Don't let me ramble on inaccurately. Oh, I love that sound. Okay, so Man Vintners, Pinotage, Sharon from Ottawa. Nothing in my glass. Food elimination. Still, I've got HTO on the rocks. You and Lynn from Halifax. Ah, people, purists. Anyway, that's okay. That's good. Good for you. Okay. Oh, again, didn't need the spittoon. It's so magic. Anyway, I like this man. I pre-tasted a bit of everything. This man is my favorite. Again, the beginning initials, I don't know, Martha, Anne, and Nancy of the Vintners' Wives. Vintners' Wives. There are women vintners. But this is really a terrific wine. I'm going to post the links to the wines. I think I'm behind on last week when we were talking about decanting. So you can always watch the replays of every Sunday Sipper Club video that we've done in the past. You can go back on this Facebook discussion thread thing and watch them. I don't think I posted last week's links, but I will. So this one I love, and it's not because it's not coffee and espresso, but it stands alone as a very balanced, deeply flavored, complex, layered, fleshy, bright, dark fruit, spice, smoke, everything kind of red. And I really like that. The distinctive coffee aroma is definitely something, when you're craving something like ketchup chips and salt and vinegar is not going to do, that's when you want to reach for the coffee flavored, they're not flavored. It's just what's happening there's debate about why that coffee flavor comes, and I think the consensus is that it's how it's oak aged. So it's the type of charring or toasting of the oak, and maybe even the oak type. And then there's been other discussion about it's the skins of the grapes or how they were harvested or when they were harvested. I would love anybody to chime in with a theory on that as well, because I'm just throwing it out there. So anyway, I love this Man Vintner Pinotage. It's extraordinarily well made, and all of these Pinotages, I don't think anything here tonight is over $15. And you will always get a deal on wines that people don't know, don't have the badge cachet of, say, Cabernet or California or Tuscany. So look for those, because you will discover value and taste and flavor for half the price or less when you do that. I feel like I've been going on here alone. Is anybody still here? Could you just let me know if you're still there? Okay, so that is the Man Vintners, and I am going to use a spittoon here so I can still enunciate. So if I went from that, I'm going to save the coffee till the last. Then I would move to Malcolm's choice tonight, Lavanier. Malcolm, I want to know what you think of this. I didn't find it coffee. I found it just a lovely, dark, juicy, exceptionally well-priced South African red wine. Let me try it again, make sure I'm still good with that. Yeah, I don't get coffee on the nose at all. Malcolm, are you there? What are you getting? Oh, that's nice. It's like dark berry, a little bit of spice. Very nicely balanced. It's great. It's juicy. I could do a lot of food pairings with that. Grilled meats, even chicken, all kinds of stuff. I may be frozen on comments, so apologies. Afterwards, by the way, I always jump back into this Facebook group and then respond to any comments either during that I didn't respond to or after. And while you're here, click on that button that goes share and like. If you click on like, you will get a notification when we go live next time. And there's follow, a green button follow. You only get to click on that once. And sign up, the blue button, sign up. And then I get to send you my newsletter forever. Malcolm's back. Thank you. Just not talking. The void. I agree. It's not super coffee-y. Yep. I'd say it's light-ish, just a touch more than Beaujolais Cru. Yep. Bright red cherry, earthy mineral note, rusted nails. Yes. And you've got an emoji with a tongue out. You don't like rusted nails? What's wrong with you, Malcolm? Sharon says, looking forward to trying this week's wine choices. You betcha. I'm going to get you the links, because the links will give you the tasting notes, but also which stores closest to you have those wines, Sharon. So, where were we? So we've done, to me, the two Pinotages tonight that don't taste like coffee espresso. And that's my style, personally. Just saying, Man and Lavanier. I like them. Now we're going to go full roast on. I'm so, says Malcolm. So I'm going to go first to the grinder. This one is such a popular wine. It's in Vintage's Essentials, I think. Right, Malcolm? Meaning it's always in stores all the time. Just another little bit of a label flash there. So we've got the full-on coffee, mocha, espresso, etc. But you know what? I like that style as long as it doesn't veer to the sweet. I don't want like mocha chocolate. Yes, it is, says Malcolm. So yes. And you know, it's $14, I think. Malcolm, corrections, please. Oh, that's really nice. It's really nice. When you're in the mood for that, coffee, espresso, oh my gosh, like a dinner party, can you imagine? And you had a wonderful dinner, and you had a beautiful conversation, bringing out the coffee and the tea, and out comes the dark chocolate cake, the cheesecake, whatever, and then this. And this is not a sweet wine, by the way. Technically, it's not sweet, it's dry. But it tastes like coffee, and that's the beautiful thing. Wow, didn't need this tune. And I love that. Oh, it just plays up and down here. It's beautiful. Malcolm says it's $13.95. You're my man, Malcolm. So it's just great. John is locked in, and he has just said squirrel because he knows how easily distracted I am. He made it through the second half of the SSC, sipping on a Rodriguez blend from Newfoundland. John, good man. What is SSC? Is that a sports show I should know about right now that's happening? I know there's all these big games, and when I ask about is Team Canada in the second inning, I get strange looks. SSC. John, define. Okay. Rodriguez is a Newfoundland winery that is kosher and berry based. Oh, SSC, Sunday Sipper Club. Whoa, we got an acronym. Hashtag yes. Tara says the grinder being tingly. Tara, I'm not sure that's coherent, my dear. What do you mean? The grinder is being tingly. It's tingly for me too. Yes, okay, John, thank you. Remind me of my own stuff. SSC, Sunday Sipper Club. You're right. And so Rodriguez, which berry-based wine from... So Rodriguez is on Newfoundland, on whatever, based. And there's no grapes, but there's all kinds of different berry wines. And it's a kosher winery. It's one of the... Wait a minute. Is it Rodriguez or is it PEI? Sorry, Newfoundland? No, I think it's Newfoundland. Okay. John, we need more details. This is so lovely. Okay, so what I'm tasting right now is the Grinder Pinotage from South Africa. And it's great. If you're just joining us late, that's okay. Chime in. Where are you logging in from? Needs a spittoon. Okay. Oh, I love that. And then it just infuses your senses with this smokiness, this very heady in a good way. So I saved this one till the last. This one is on the general list. It is, Malcolm will correct me, maybe $13. Cafe Culture, and right on the label they say Cafe Mocha, so they're preparing you taste-wise. Tara says, haha, oops, I remember it as being tingly. It really grabbed the taste buds. I love that. Action verbs. Action verbs give you muscular writing. Get rid of the flab of adverbs and adjectives. So, Cafe Culture, let's give this a go. Now, this is even more, like 10 times mocha, espresso, coffee. I can hear the grinders going. I'm in Starbucks or somewhere. And it's got a touch of sweetness, but not a lot. So, you know, I taste some wines and I go, oh gosh, this has got to go with Mexican mole. Mole. That is a dish that has some chocolate accents to it. Because some wines you just go, oh, it may be technically dry on the sugar code, but it tastes so sweet. But this doesn't. This just tastes smoky, espresso. This tastes like morning. This tastes like I should be getting up right now. Fortunately, I'm not. I really like it. So, let me keep up with the comments here. Malcolm says, as this Pinotage opens up, and as Malcolm opens up, it is super complex, like Malcolm. Cedar, rusty nails, earth dark cherry, Pinot Noir-esque. Yes, that's it, Malcolm. Because it's that cross. It's bringing together the elegance of Pinot Noir and the, what are those muscles called? I don't have them. Of Cinsault from Southern Rhone. The heft, the muscularity of Cinsault. So Malcolm says cafe culture is $13.95. Great. And Malcolm says LOL, and I don't know which comment you're responding to. But anyway, that's okay. We're just going to keep going. So actually, let me go back because you know what? I have some more facts I should impart. Excuse me. So shale soils, Pinotage can age in the cellar, ageability, and it can produce aromas of raspberry bushes, smoke, that earthy mineral stone character. Oh, I have one more that I meant to bring out. Where the heck is it? Oh, it may be back in the office there, the tasting office. That's okay. There's a BC winery doing it as well called The Vine in BC. And they've got Reserve Pinotage. I'll have that link here too. I think you can only get it if you're in BC. But Pinotage is also planted in small amounts in New Zealand, US, Canada, Israel, Brazil, Zimbabwe, and even in South Africa. Although it's the most iconic flagship red, if you will, it is fourth in terms of plantings. So it is not the majority of plantings. Cabernet, Merlot, and Shiraz all outplant Pinotage. But think about this, folks. This smoky mocha espresso, think about that on your taste buds, and then bring on the pulled pork smoky sandwich or a pizza with smoked meat. Or you're in a deli. Can you imagine the pairings? Oh my gosh, yes. So, are there any more questions? Let's see, how long have I been jabbering on here? Good Lord, it always surprises me. Probably doesn't you, it probably drags on for you, but I'm over 32 minutes. So, are there any questions? I'm here, and I won't close it off if there are any more questions. But again, if you are joining in late or whatever, or you think of a question after we finish the broadcast, you can always post it down here. Please click on that share with the little arrow. The like, that means that when we go live next week, I'm trying to be regular, so every Sunday at 6 Eastern, I'm going to try to do this just for my own discipline, and I think perhaps you'll appreciate it too. There's a regularity to it. If you haven't ever, press or click on the green follow button, and there's a blue sign up button. That's it. That's all I have for you. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? Any Pinotages you've tasted? Have I made you thirsty enough to try Pinotage? Is anyone still there? I could do a countdown. But no, I really enjoy these Sunday nights, and I appreciate everybody who logs in to be here, because I don't know, thank you, Malcolm. Great session, Natalie. What's next week's he's got a hashtag already, SS theme. You know what, Malcolm? I want to know what theme you want, because in the past, for at least 2 or 3 of these, I've just picked up on what someone suggested. Again, like John says, squirrel. I'm easily distracted, and I'm easily led in different directions. So why don't you tell me? Because right now I'm in an experimental phase, and so we can do grapes and wines like Pinotage, we've done Syrah, we've done etc. Or we can do stuff like how to decant, what is the sweetness level, how about screw caps. Those are all topics we've tackled. So it can go any way you like, really. John says, still here, gotta try Pinotage. Yeah, you should try one, John. And depending on what you like, if you want the full-on coffee experience, or if you want not so much that, but something just deep dark and red for fall, it's a lovely, lovely wine for the value and the price. So, Malcolm, what do you suggest for next week's theme? Oh, Lynn says different types of glasses. Brilliant, Lynn. Yep. I've also been talking to, CTV's morning show, the new one. your morning, they want to do glassware. So that's a good topic. It really is. People want to know, do I need 16 types of glasses, or how about just one, or how about just a gas station cup? Anybody else? I'm just going to enjoy this for a minute. That's really good. Malcolm says, different regions would open up a bunch of different great themes too. Yes. Malcolm, how about champagne? Malcolm, I'm definitely doing champagne. I might do it a little closer to the holidays, but definitely, we're rocking that. You know what I'm thinking? Because I'm just mischievous, but I might do the wines of Trump and Clinton from the US. Yes, I've got them. So Clinton Vineyards, which is not owned by Hillary, and Trump Vineyards, which is owned by his namesake. I've got them. Actually, someone I know, a good friend, drove to Ogdensburg, New York. I've got the wines. How about that, folks? They've got their first debate tomorrow. I'm going to do it. I mean, anyway. Tara says, thank you. I enjoy them too. It's great to sip wine and prep dinner while talking wine. Something Thanksgiving themed. Yes, you're right. So next weekend, we should do Thanksgiving. And then the weekend after that, which is Canadian Thanksgiving, maybe we'll do that too, depending on how much family stuff I've got going on. And then Sharon says, for Canadian election night, I drank Canada Red. Is that with the big moose on it, Sharon? And White Megalomaniac. Yeah. You know that Megalomania, John Howard Cellars? It's hilarious. They've got a wine called Selfie, which I think is perfect for Justin Trudeau, right? Anyway, yes, with the moose, Sharon says. Okay. Okay, well, you know what? I don't have any more substantive information to add to this, so we could probably just dribble off here, but perhaps, Paul says he's had them both. Trump is a Virginia wine and Clinton is from New York, yes. And I've got them both because I want to do a taste-off. If you've got suggestions on how I should do this, other than lining them up, I've got 3 Trump wines, 3 Clinton wines. How should we do this? Let's get deliciously devious in a good way, fun way, okay? Big debate tomorrow. So, tell me if you have your suggestions. I should really close this off. Anyway, as always, I sincerely appreciate you logging in. I feel like I found my tribe. And I really enjoy this. I've always disliked intensely Facebook, but this is a lot of fun. So I hope you like it too. And I'm going to try to be regular, as I said, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Give me your suggestions. How can we make this better? What topics do you want to hear about? Anything else? Okay? All right, guys. You take care. And Billiana. Oh, yes, you're welcome. That's very nice. Thank you. You take care. All right, this awkward moment where I tried to turn it off. Oh, and then Lynn says, good session. You're welcome, Lynn. Still